It's like an upgrade or update, right? For your computer. You all know we all just went through an update. That's interesting too. We just did an upgrade and an update in our members area, right? WordPress, all these things, the plugins and all of these themes, the technical aspect, all of these things have to stay up to date so they can run smooth, right? So in that, sometimes things crash, right? Things have to be realigned. Well, that's the same thing that's happening on the planet. As we go through these upgrades, right, and updates, conflicting programs have to clash, right? And that could cause the whole system to crash. That could cause things like Astro World, right? All the contention that we see on the street. So, in order to grow, everything has to be brought to the surface. So, when you have something like that, people are going to these concerts consciously or unconsciously to experience or to bring out a certain level of rage and frustration and release, right? So they going buck wild crazy, running over folks, trampling folks, slapping the shit out of people, all of this stuff in the name of having fun, but it's a release. And it's all reflective of revelation. Revelation means things are being revealed. The only way things will be revealed is if it's brought to a surface where you can see it. Again, divine nature, animal nature has to be reconciled. The animal nature has been repressed, right? The chaos has been repressed. So in this new dawn, all repressed and hidden things must be revealed. So now you better not say anything about the transgender. You better not say anything about a homosexual. You better not say anything about this one. Now everything is like silence in heaven. Let us see what's being repressed, and it all has to be brought to the surface so it could be dealt with. It has to be dealt with. So this is where we get the clashing, because when everybody starts speaking their mind and showing true colors and telling the absolute truth, we're gonna have some clashing, right? There's going to be some collisions, and that's what revelation is. We're going to go into that. I have a whole series on revelation in the members area that's going to cycle through coming soon, but it's about clashing, right? That which is up from high, that which is fiery, such as a meteorite, clashes with that which is low and cool and watery, which is the water. So we have the comet wormwood hid in the earth. Boom, the clashing of opposites, right? All of these things are symbolic to the psyche. So there's instances in the Bible where humans are questioning the morality of God. And God is actually evolving just in that mythos within itself. So when you really look at it critically, you're saying, wow, humanity is actually helping God evolve. Didn't it say that it grieved in his heart that he destroyed men by water in the flood? It grieved his heart. He said, I'll never do that again. Well, we just taught you a lesson. Are y'all ready for right knowledge? Mama told me my mouth gonna get me in trouble. I gotta put a muzzle on it. Slow it down, Naazir. Slow it down. You ain't ready. You're gonna burn them up with degrees. So let me cool it down. Y'all ain't ready. But let me say this. We have a great potential to transcend. And those archons and that beast that presides over this particular realm is scared of you waking up. Scared. Because you have the light, right? Unlike him, we were created from the spark, or those soul beings, I should say, that have the light of the Father and the divine feminine. He was created as a disfigured, aborted fetus from a botched pregnancy of the divine feminine. Yao the breath. See? So we're higher than that entity. So we got to keep you down. So we have this potential, great potential of divinity, but we also have a great potential of sub-animal behavior. We got the potential to be lower than an animal. See, an animal is not gonna, an animal doesn't rape. See, animals don't just kill wholesale, trying to annihilate an entire other species. Humans do all that. Animals don't enslave each other. Animals don't hoard and create, like they said in the Matrix. Humans are like a virus, like a cancer upon the earth. After you finish destroying one planet, you want to blast off and go to another planet and do the same thing and rape, pillage, destroy. See, so we have these polar opposites, and we're in the process of integration. This is why certain beings are you're going to see less and less albinos, less and less pure Nordics with pure white skin and blonde hair and blue eyes. They being reabsorbed, and in that reabsorption process, it's going to be an integration that takes place. It has to be reconciled. You got to work through it. It's a form of facing your demons. Humans do evil acts that even animals won't do and can't do and don't even have the consciousness to do. So when humans, with their advanced logic and awareness and imagination, have the propensity to do unspeakable evil, but we have the ability to do unspeakable good as well. So revelation is a process of integration, bringing into harmony our dark side that has been repressed. Hence, harlot energy is out of control. The book of Revelation, it talks about the rise of the harlot. It is what it is. It's a fact, right? Just look at Joe Biden. He had to go for a certain medical procedure. He gave all his power to the harlot, Kamala. I'm not saying it as if, I'm not calling her per se a harlot. I'm talking about her energy. If you know her history, she pretty much slept her way into those positions, right? In her 20s, sleeping with older men and things of this nature. It's a fact. So it's not about her per se. She just represents that energy, but it's not. It's a pervasive energy. So harlot energy, satanic energy. Abuse of children, satanic abuse of children, murder of babies, promotion of feminism, which is in the inversion, which is actually the inverted 5-pointed star, which represents feminine energy. Okay, not to go too deep in that, but when you get into occultism and these pentagrams, the pentagram represents a womb. They draw that thing on the earth, right? Earth, feminine. And they draw that pentagram and they square it off with the circle, which is a feminine, right? You're creating a womb. And this is where they draw forth demonic energies from lower dimensions. It's done through the feminine, right? So the same way it could be done to bring forth demons, it could be done to bring forth angelic beings, right? And higher dimensional beings through the process of being married, living in a household in divine order, cleanliness, neatness, morality, purity, righteousness. Okay, all of the things that you need in order to bring forth a seed that's on a higher frequency, a star seed. But instead, they encourage the direct opposite, harlot energy, which brings low density beings to the planet. See? But anyway, we're integrating, and all things must be revealed. So when you have situations like that, it's just symptomatic of what's inside the spirit of man. It's just symptomatic of all that which is repressed. I've heard that even children got killed. There were children there. Who would take their child to something like that? So the chaos and the chaotic, animalistic, and narcissistic environment is going to keep increasing. It's going to keep getting worse and proliferating until it reaches what we call critical mass. critical mass. And scientifically speaking, if you were to take some water and keep adding sugar to the solution, sugar, the water can absorb but so much sugar. You heat it up, it'll absorb a little more sugar. You keep stirring it up. This is an experiment you can do with your children. But the molecule of H2O can absorb but so much sugar until the mere fact it reaches a critical mass or a threshold where if you add one more grain of salt, a chain reaction will take place. And the sugar crystals will begin to proliferate. And in a short span of time, the whole glass would turn completely solid sugar crystals. It would transform from a liquid to a liquid solution into a solid crystal. This is the crystallization process. So once things get to a certain level, the spirit can absorb but so much. Something has to take place. But what happens is this. In the terms of the psyche can contain but so much, and then it snaps, it breaks. Right? Like they say in the church, the Lord broke me down. Just like what happened in Atlantis. It got so filthy that people would pray just to get through the day. They would pray to die. This is what it talks about in Revelation. People gonna call out, please, death, I want to die. I want this to be over. And death will flee from you. If that ain't hell, I don't know what is. But that's where we're going. That's where we're going with this. But death is only just a transition, right? It's a transition. It's a doorway to another existence. So what happens is once it reaches the level where humanity begins to cry out with all their heart, all their soul and spirit and power, and cry out for righteousness and cry out for the return of justice, equality, purity on the planet. In so many words, plead the blood of Jesus or plead the blood of Christ. And what does that mean when I break that down? That means blood means life force. It means energy. And it also represents the personification of something in the flesh. You can't have blood unless you're in the flesh. So the human spirit is going to long for the divine masculine to return. The return of Heru, the return of Osar, and that will be the end of that cycle. Remember,